Angry guy here, and women are furious that paternity fraud is now illegal. Women are furious that paternity fraud is now illegal. Let's just go ahead and jump right into the video. So we have this little gem right here. And of course, she is furious about the situation, but more so, she's trying to deny the fact that women are falsely accusing men of being the father so many times.
So we've all seen it, and today we're going to talk about it. Paternity fraud. So I wanted to talk about this because this seems to be the new buzzword that BMs are using to scream to the top of the world that women are deceiving men when it comes to the paternity of their children. So I looked into the actual data, and then of course, you know, your girl is going to come with the receipts as well as provide context behind the stats that they regurgitate, but they never provide the context in which those stats were generated. So let's do it. So for starters, they seem to be getting that data from a 2010 research article. So the data is already coming out old. It said 30% of men are not the father. Paternity tests show a dramatic rise in the number of individuals seeking DNA and paternity testing. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to why people are getting these paternity tests and why it's coming out as 30%.
Now, guys, I'm not going to entertain this woman anymore. As you can see, she refers to black men as BMs because she wants to be disrespectful. And you can look at the comments. You can look at the comments, and you know, Terry points out 33% is insanely high. If anything, it's much higher nowadays. If all tests show 33%, then is that the norm in the generational pool? So she's trying to play it off like 33% is not a lot. And that was really 10 years ago. 10 years ago, it was 33%, guys. And a lot of men now believe that it's actually closer to between 40 and 50%. Although in some countries like France, it may be as high as 70%. It's absolutely insane. This is the reason, and they knew this. They know this in France. It's actually illegal in France for a man to go and get a DNA test, or they can be thrown in jail. Yes, it's illegal for a man to go and get a paternity test, because or else they can be thrown in jail. And I went to like the highest court in France, like their Supreme Court, and their court ruled that it would be a disruptive to the home if men were able to go and do this. In other words, they straight up said that it would be problematic to society. It would create too much havoc in society if men could go and find out whether or not a child is actually theirs. If you think you are free as a man, really think again. Think about the matriarchy that we live in. This is a matriarchal society where we are under the control of the matriarchy, and it is an alignment with the state that just wants to extract our wealth and resources from us and then discard us. But the crazy thing is that it's a whole new day because these new laws have been passed. And if these women are going out here and trying to commit paternity fraud, they're going to end up in jail.
Falsely accuse a man of being your baby's daddy. It's called parentage fraud, and it's no joke. It's a new era. Ladies are legally free to be with whomever they feel free to be with. And for some women, an honest mistake could be made. Just make sure you're sincere and you've done your homework. And if you're making a legal claim to force a resistant man to claim your child as his dependent, make sure you can back it up with the facts.
As Tennessee has made it illegal to lie and put a baby on somebody, let's talk about it. This new law passed in September of this year makes it a crime to commit paternity fraud. Under the language of the law, you cannot lie about who the father of your child is if you knew or should have known that they weren't the father, and it was with the intent to deprive the actual father of his rights or so that you could get money. Now, there's been a lot of celebration about this law and outcry that this should be spread nationwide, but I don't think that the impact of this law is going to be as widespread as some may hope.
Hi, Ellen Wright, Wright Family Law Group. So here's a doozy of a question. Can I put my boyfriend on my child's birth certificate, even though we both know he's not really the bio dad? So, yeah, you can do it. No one is going to stop you, but you need to know that it is paternity fraud, and you're not being really fair to everyone involved, including your child. So this is Massachusetts. 1 year goes by and your boyfriend is on that birth certificate and he's not coming off. Even if you guys break up, he's going to have a really hard time coming off if he doesn't want to continue to take responsibility for this child that's not his. Is that really fair to him? No. And let's talk about your child. Okay, there's now websites, 23andMe, Ancestry.com. What about in later life when your child discovers, if they go on one of these websites and takes a paternity test or genetic marker test, that your boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, whatever the case may be, is not really his or her dad? Is that really fair to your child? Lying? No. Birth certificates can be amended. And children can be adopted. So I suggest you not lie and do things the right way. Peace out.
Guys, so you have lawyers basically warning these women, don't do it. Because in their minds, they're thinking like, I can get away with it. I can get money off the state. I get money from the state doing this. I can, I can take this man and, why would any man want to be willingly on a birth certificate for a child that isn't his? That's absolutely ridiculous. Because a man knows what the consequences are. You have to be a real hardcore simp to go and say, oh, I'll be on a birth certificate for a child that's not mine, for a woman that I'm not even married to. Who, guys, this woman is so full of it. When she asked the question because clearly she wanted to commit paternity fraud. She wanted to put her boyfriend's name on it without him knowing, but she didn't want to outright say, oh, hey, yeah, I'm planning to list my boyfriend on the birth certificate. And just go along with it. And he knows it's not his, but he's okay with it. Guys, does that make any sense to you? She was basically just trying to get legal advice from an attorney without having to pay for it, to figure out if she could get away with putting her boyfriend's name on the birth certificate. And here's another intriguing thing about this. She's with her boyfriend, and chances are she got pregnant while with her boyfriend, but for someone else. You see how that works out, guys? So like I always tell you, the woman has a bunch of side dudes. She always has some dudes on the side. She's always out there in the streets. So she has a boyfriend, but she's going back to Brad, Chad, Tyrone, Ray, Pookie, Little Poncho. She loves Little Poncho. And she's letting them clap those cheeks. And then she turns around and she says, well, these men are never going to take responsibility, nor can they, because these are not men who are marriageable men. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this my boyfriend's name on it. So we may break up, but it doesn't matter. He'll still end up having to pay for a child that isn't his, and I'll keep on keeping on in the streets. And that's what these women do, and they have no empathy whatsoever. And they would turn and lie to God, and they would act like, well, it happened already, so it's over. It's okay. It is what it is. And God sees that you are a good father, and God is going to take care. Bro, give me my money back. I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in child support to you. Like, I want my money back. Like, guys, like, think about this carefully. Even if a guy is spending, let's say, $1,000 a month in child support, that's $12,000 a year. That's more. Yeah, no, that's $12,000 a year, and then that's $120,000 over the course of 10 years. I want you guys to think about this very, very carefully. If at some places child support goes for more than goes past 18, so you will have a dude who will have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. Over the course of 18 years, 20 years. You're really pushing over $200,000. $200,000 in child support, and some dudes pay more than $1,000 a month in child support. Imagine paying $1,800 a month in child support. Okay, this guy named Nelly, I think it was Nelly. This dude paid out over like $2 million, in child support. And guess what? The mother of that child, she was like basically headed for a homeless shelter. And you had women in the media who are saying things like, well, he still could help her, right? She's still the mother of his child. So, can't he help her? And I'm like, $2 million for a child, $2 million, and she's broke. I mean, guys, it's absolutely ridiculous. And where's all that money? What happened to all of that money? Guys, the system is just designed to extract wealth and resources from men, and that's all there is to it. What do you guys think? If you're enjoying this content, help get the channel to 100,000 subscribers on our journey to 2 million by subscribing to the channel if you already haven't, liking the video, and turning on notifications so you never miss another video ever again. Women are furious that paternity fraud is now illegal. Let me know what you guys think regarding everything we discussed in the comments. Let's talk about it there. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA Men walking away. And cheers.